Is there a good narrative still left for the US? Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Silver Dad Knows. Remember, always live with no edits. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button now, as you're gonna like what I'm about to say. So right here to my left, that is the Silver Dad Knows Epic profile pic. That is the coin that I use on my eBay account, and of course I use it for my my profile pic for my YouTube. So easily, hands down, my favorite silver round. And just to give you some information on this, this is the Apollo 11 moon landing featuring John F. Kennedy. Keep in mind, he was assassinated before this moon landing, but I'm gonna explain why they have him on here. The front side of the round provides a view from the moon with the Earth visible off in the distance. One of the astronauts' boots are shown walking across the lunar surface next to his footprints, if you can see it right there. It says the famous quote from Neil Armstrong, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. The backside, of course, shows President Kennedy, who very publicly announced the U.S.'s commitment to reach the moon before the end of the 1960s. And I just love the sky on that. The moon and stars are shown behind him while the shuttle is shown launching from the Earth. So just super inspiring coin, very lovely. Indeed, it is a classic piece and an attractive piece. You know, it's one of those that you can just get lost looking at. And that's why I want to just go into a little bit more detail so you can get more visual of how nice this coin is. But just hands down my favorite piece. And I have a lot of rounds. I have a lot of coins. That's the only one I have. And if you're wondering, for a while I was the only person selling it on YouTube. I was the only person selling it on eBay. But as of right now, there's somebody who was able to get some at very good prices. You can get them as low as $43 to $45 with free shipping. That's an excellent deal. If you can get them that cheap, buy them. I'm actually very tempted to buy another one just because I love the design. Real quick, guys, before I continue, I do want to give a shout out to my very loyal subscriber, Sarge27271. And there's a comment that they made late last night. In 1929, 95% of the populace was living on farms or in rural areas. Nowadays, 4% of the populace is living on farms. Not the same situation at all. This time around, the Great Depression will look like a picnic. When you hear, this time it's different, yes, this time it is different. If they want to achieve their 2030 YOLO nothing and be happy way of life for us, they have to crash everything. Hang on. BRICS is working against the US dollar. Our allies aren't buying the USTs. Metals are heading east. Something's gonna break. Can't you feel it? That feeling of unease? Stay safe. It's going to get a whole lot uglier. Cheers. Wow. So there you have it, Sarge27271, always sharing his wisdom, insight, and people can say, hey, that's a bleak outlook, but it's like, no, it's not bleak. This is the reality of what we're living in. Because folks, there's no good narrative left for the US hegemony, for the US economy. Because we look at the recession indicators and the labor indicators and inflation indicators, it's over. There's never been a higher point in our history where insiders are dumping their stocks at the top. These people aren't stupid. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, they're highly intelligent, and yet they're doing all the same things, making all the same moves at the exact same time. This faith in AI and dystopian faith in technology, they're just ideas that have been pandered. This market bubble couldn't have come at a worse time. There'll be more centralization. There'll be more capital control. There'll be less civil liberties. There'll be more distractions, more political unrest, and more military drum rolls. We're seeing all this in real time. We're living in it. Billionaires are already raising money as we speak to buy up what's left of America. 7.6 million single family homes will be owned exclusively by investors in the next 5 years. 5.5 years, give or take. 7.6 million. That's 40% of all homes in America. These next couple of years are going to be way more aggressive in terms of wealth being transferred than anything we've ever seen, anything we've ever experienced. And everybody is at risk. So yes, another one of my favorites. This is the 1922 peace dollar. Very attractive, charming, and if you're serious in this game, you most certainly want to have peace dollars in your collection. 1922 peace dollars were minted in phenomenal quantities. More than 51 million at the Philadelphia Mint alone were struck. 1922 peace dollars have the highest mintage of any silver dollar, and it remains the most common date in the peace dollar series. These coins are a classic American icon. Although the piece was only minted for 14 years, investors have used this constitutional silver coin for nearly a century. Very affordable to this day. And circulated condition, you can get these now for around $34 to $44 with free shipping. I think that's just very, very aggressive pricing. Great times to be buying these, 1922 peace dollars in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for over $25,000. So if you can find one of these in perfect, pristine condition, 20 grand plus. So for those who say, oh yeah, silver, no, silver, you don't get rich off that. If you're holding on to the right coins, you do. If you make the right moves with silver, you do. Like anything else. It's a matter of working and taking risk, embracing risk. But I'll tell you this, I'm heavily into stocks. I'm heavily into my dividends. I have cryptocurrency. I'm very risky with my portfolio. Silver and my gold, that's my safest bet right there. And it always has been. Real quick, guys, I do want to give a final shout out. And this is to another one of my loyal subscribers, a comment that they made yesterday. And this is Veritas Files. What will save us will be perseverance. It won't just be a matter of possessing gold and silver. It will be a matter of locking arms with the like-minded, being willing to suffer and persevere, and a willingness to resist in the long term. Courage is contagious, and if we fail to show it, people will be dropping like flies to government pressure, and the pressure of life is just going to get harder and harder. A lot of people will give up and give in because of the promised comfort of being brought into the fold of government money and access to the system. The question everyone has to answer is, will that be me? If you have absolutely nothing to fall back on, it very well may be you. If you are unwilling to suffer, it may also be you. Even if you possess gold and silver, much preparation for the future that needs to be done is psychological. If we just have a few other people who are pulling, or in this case, resisting in the same direction, that can be enough to spur us on the kind of behavior we hope for ourselves to exhibit. Do you have those people? Are you and your spouse on the same page? Do your children agree with you? Do you have friends? Do you have a church that agrees with you? All of those questions are relevant and worth asking. Keep stacking. Wow, amazing. Veritas Files. That was a brilliant comment. And yes, it's like you do have to be asking all these serious questions, because it's like, yes, this is a foundation in preparing for the chaos that is to come in these last days. This is just a foundation, but ultimately, yes, we have to be seeking God. We have to be seeking our loved ones. We have to, it's going to be much more. It's like your faith, because it's like he's talking about psychological, all the suffering that's coming, all the confusion that's coming, it is all psychological. And what's happening in our minds affects what happens in our reality, you change your mind, you change who you are. You change your mind, you change what you do. And that's how we have to be thinking at this point. But folks, yes, great evening. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Silver Dad Knows. Remember, you go to my description, you'll notice that my eBay account is linked. You let me know, hey, Silver Dad Knows, I'm one of your subscribers. I'm a patriot. I love what you're saying. You hit me up. I will sell you any of my coins at your choosing at my cost. I will hook you up. But yes, folks, stay safe. God bless you out there. God bless your households. This is Silver Dad Knows. As always, God bless America.